Hey, my name's Sarah Sims, and I'm here today with computer music in the latest edition of the Dance Music Masterclass. Today we're going to look at how to create a drop. I'm going to start off by playing my build up and drop, and then we'll go through some of the elements so you can learn how to create your own. So when I started to create this drop here, I started off with the kick. It's a 4 on the floor kick with a strong transient. Next I added the clap. And to make the clap really cut through the mix, I have 2 clap layers. And then there's a reverse clap before the main clap sounds. And how I made that there is I just made a blank track. I drag this clap down, I pressed R to reverse, that's the R key in Ableton, and then you can use a tiny bit of this sound just before your main clap there. You can zoom in and use these fades a little bit here. So it just makes for a more interesting sound rather than just the standard clap there. Kind of have to play around with the sound there. Moving on, let's check out the chords. Chords are going to be the backbone of the drop. To make the chords, I used a plugin called Captain Chords Epic by Mixed in Key. And you can export the MIDI to another track. This other track here has just a Nexus preset on it there. And I'm cutting off some of the low ends. When I play these chords, this is how they sound. I wanted to layer this chord with a pluckier sound that had a bit more attack, so I'm using a copy of Silent. And then I'm also using the FabFilter Pro Q3, rolling off some of the low end and a bit of the high end as well. Here's how the plucky sound sounds. When you play these 2 chord layers together, we get this. So those are the chords. Let's scroll down. We're going to just skip over the bass for now. And let's go to the lead sound. When you're creating a lead for your drop, you want to choose one sound that's going to be the focus for the melody. Here's my melody here. Let's just hear this. So this is a Nexus preset. It's called the dance organ, and then I'm EQing that a little bit with the Pro Q3, just focusing on the frequencies between 500 and 5K. I've layered this with a higher melody and a lower melody, and I wanted to create a call and response between the higher melody and the lower melody so the two could have a bit of a conversation. For the higher melody, it's not in a higher octave, but it's a sound that has more high frequencies in it. And then I'm also EQing this a little bit differently. I'm focusing on the frequencies between 500 and 10K. I copied out the pattern from the lead melody, but I've left some space here in bars 2 and 4 because the lower melody, which we'll look at in a second, is going to come in and it's going to fill those gaps. So here's how the higher melody sounds. Next, let's go to the lower melody. So the lower melody is exactly the same sound as the main lead. I dropped it an octave down, and I'm also EQing it a little bit differently as well, focusing more on some of the low end of the sound there, just cutting off everything that is below about 100 hertz or so. And then I've left some space in bars 1 and 3 because that's where the higher melody is playing. So let's play the higher and the lower melody together, and we can hear how these two have a conversation. Okay, so that's about it for today. I'm going to go ahead and I'll play through the entire build up and drop. Thanks so much for taking the time to check out my dance music masterclass. Be sure to join me next month for Computer Music's next edition.